Hey guys, my name is Jay, and welcome to the Climbing Creed. I created the Climbing Creed targeted for beginners and to share knowledge that we all struggle when we first start climbing. I wanted to create this video a while back to start with the very basics. What is climbing? A lot of people don't even know it's an actual sport people do for fun or that it's competitive. Right now it's gaining a lot of popularity, so I wanted to break down at least the 3 types of disciplines you will see in the Olympics. So let's get to it. First, we will talk about bouldering, which is one of my favorites. Bouldering consists of climbing on short walls or boulders without any belay ropes. These routes are considered more powerful, which is why you need less endurance. In competitions, it differentiates from speed and sport since a climber can attempt the route more than once. Each climber has 4 minutes in the IFSC and in the Olympics to complete the problem, and they are unable to see any other climbers attempt it or receive any advice from them because that will give them advantage. Each competitor's score is determined by the overall number of routes they finish and the number of attempts they needed to complete the routes. In bouldering, there are also areas called the zone, where climbers get awarded points and helps determine the leaderboard if they reach that point or if they control that point. Since this is a very basic explanation, I don't want to get into many details, but I do want to recap the following. Number 1, you need to reach the top of the problem. That's the whole objective. Number 2, you can't see anybody else do it, nor get advice. Number 3, you get points if you reach the zone even if you don't complete the problem. Number 4, you have 4 minutes to do as many attempts as you want, but if you do more attempts, they'll lower your score. Alright, let's now move into sport or lead climbing. For lead climbing, we are talking about longer routes, higher walls, and more endurance required, as you can imagine. Same as bouldering, your objective is to reach the top, but in this case, you have a belayer and you have a rope now. In comparison to bouldering as well, here you only have 1 attempt to reach the top. You cannot see anyone else attempt it, nor get advice from anyone, or as we call it, you cannot get beta from anybody. Your score will be determined by the highest hold you can control, meaning you have to have a stable position on that hold. In a case of a tie, the climber's score from previous round and or the time taken to ascend or get to the controlled highest point is used as a tiebreaker. Climbers are usually given a limited time to visually inspect the route from ground level before they start climbing. This way they could plan what they want to do and the moves they want to do in certain areas. So just to recap, and this is a little bit more straightforward. Number 1, you need to reach the top, of course. Number 2, you have 1 attempt and you cannot see anyone else do it. Number 3, your points are determined by the highest hold you controlled. Number 4, if there is a tie, the time it took you to get to the highest point you controlled will be used as a tiebreaker, usually. And finally, we have speed climbing, which the only thing that counts is speed. It is a top rope climbing, which means that you're going to be belayed from the top, and competitors climb on a slightly overhang wall. This is a standard board and a standard route for 2 climbers to compete to get to the top first. Each climber has a pad on the ground that activates the clock when they step out of it. And at the top of the climb, they manually tap a button to stop the timer. So pretty much the recap for this is super simple. Reach the top before the other climber does. Today my objective was to target more on the competition side due to the Olympics, but if you have any questions that I can elaborate on, please leave them in the comments and I could create a video on this topic. I will be sharing more climbs, beta, and suggestions for beginners in the upcoming weeks. So I hope this video gave you the basics to understand climbing as a competitive sport. So remember to please like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, happy climbing.